the social selling may be more appropriately termed social prospecting, right? It's top of funnel activity. It's winning people. No?
I disagree with that because, okay, so let me give you an example. So let's say that you're in a complex sale and you've got 5 decision makers that are involved. That's great. You've moved one of those decision makers offline. Now you've got to figure out, okay, I've got to get that person now to get me in front of their CEO or their VP, one that can write the check. So now we're talking about a sales process. You've prospected using social, you've got them offline. Now what happens next to make sure that the deal, you get in front of the right people, you keep the deal alive, you keep the conversation alive. Example, if you're selling to marketers, they're on a lot of demos. There's a lot of times where they'll tell you that what you just showed them was the best thing since sliced bread, and they will go dark on you.
Yeah.
How do you get people to not go dark? The best way to do that is flip from a salesperson to an advocate inside of the sales process. Great. I just had a great conversation with you. I've sent the follow-up email. We've tried to set the expectations. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go engage with your VP that I need to get in a conversation with. I'm going to go look at their LinkedIn profile. I'm going to go retweet something that they wrote. I'm going to share a webinar for the person that I was just on a call with that just told me their number one goal of how they keep their job and how they look good for their bosses. They need more signups. So I'm going to share my network. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to, introduce maybe somebody on LinkedIn to this person that I'm asking for their business. I'm going to say, hey, I've got a client that I want to introduce you to. You should talk. So what you're doing is you're using social media and this is why I say create, right? You're using it to create a conversation. Then you're using it to strengthen the conversation in the sales process with multiple people. But then even more important, you're using it to influence the conversation because at the end of the day, you got to keep clients. So what happens when they become a customer and then all of a sudden they have something that they need help with and they need your network for? How many sales reps are staying and supporting them, as you're influencing to get maybe the upsell or to get the bigger contract? So it never stops and it never should.
Yeah. No, the way you articulate it, for the complex sale, those people who maybe now or years ago were arguing that I have to do such a good job with this guy because he has, this prospect, the guy who's lower down on the totem pole, because I'm never going to get into that final room. We know as sellers that we want to get as many of the decision makers as we can into one room so we can play doctor in each one of them. But in some cases, we just can't get into the room. But social media allows you to get into that room without having to ask to be in that room. And maybe that meeting is taking place at 2 a.m. when that CEO is getting up for his run, right? Like it's happening right as he's getting out of bed and, oh, there's Jack, there's Brendan. Oh, that's the guy that my VP was telling me about. He's got this thing. Oh, kind of sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Some people say the hardest thing to get is somebody's attention. I say the hardest thing to do is to keep somebody's attention, right?
Yeah.
You have conversations with people all the time, like, oh, hey, meet Larry. You guys should talk. Great. You talk to Larry for 20 minutes at a conference. Next thing you know, you leave. Okay, great. How do I get to that next level with Larry where I can actually get into a serious business conversation? Larry told me, oh yeah, we need this, right? Great. Well, Larry just turned around and just bumped into 2 more people that said to Larry, we can help fix your problem. Okay, great. I've just lost Larry's attention. How do I now keep Larry's attention so that he doesn't forget about me and that we carry on this conversation? So, Gary Vee's all about, get the attention. But what Gary Vee doesn't tell you is that Gary Vee is really good at keeping your attention, right? And whether you want him to keep your attention or not, he's staying in front of you. And he's staying in front of you. I've had my moments with Gary Vee where I'm like, oh, God, get away. I've seen 20 videos of this go by, and then all of a sudden I see one that resonates with me, and I'm like, now I'm a Gary Vee fan again. And then I'm annoyed by Gary Vee. But you know what? The thing is, persistence now is being able to stay in front of people with something relevant that makes them better personally and professionally all the freaking time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.